children. Today we'll be reading something special from Finnish and Karelian culture called Kalevala. Kalevala is a Karelian, a Finnish and Karelian epic tale. You know that Germans have Nibelungen, other nations have other stories, but Finns and Karelians have Kalevala. It has classic renditions with this one is with Soviet artists' pictures. Here, for example, Ilmarinen is forging the sample. You know, if you watched MST3K Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know that they ask what sample is. This is sample. This is sample. And more than that, in my city we have an internet provider called Sample. And this is Lemminkäinen, the jolly Lemminkäinen, I believe, is pulling the wonderful, magical moose or elk created by Hisi, the master of forests. These illustrations are by Soviet artists. You know, you can see that, you know, they're like very like Soviet looking, you know, but still very, I would say, subtle. Here, for example, is the feast in Pohjola, and later I will read you one of my favorite parts from this translated into English, because as I understand, my friend, you speak English, right? Here is some heroes. So let me actually, and also of course, not in Russia but in Finland they have this Kalevala for kids called Dog's Kalevala, Koirien Kalevala. Koira means dog, and it's a story of Kalevala and Sampo. I believe somewhere, no, maybe here is Sampo, and they have it for kids too. And here, for example, is the story of how the author, this is a beautiful picture, a dog looking onto beautiful Finnish nature. And here, for example, for kids are all of the characters of this book imagined as dogs. Seppo, Ilmarinen, Joukahainen, Väinämöinen, and everyone else. And here, let me see, Ikkuturso, Aion poika, Ikkuturso, the son of the waves. And here is Ahti, the master of the seas and lakes, Ahti. Amazing. And here also is the infamous Viper, just Viper, for kids. And also on every page of this book you can find this secret character. It's a spider. Let me see where he is. It's like, you know, this, where's Wally or what? Oh, I found him. Here he is. On every page, here is this spider dressed as a Viking with a horned head and an axe. On every page, there is this spider. and for kids. And also it's beautifully drawn with watercolors. Something that Finnish people do very well is design and drawing with like this with watercolors. Here are the three heroes of this book: Väinämöinen, Ilmarinen, the blacksmith, and um, uh, Lemminkäinen, who is a cat. So basically, in this book, all of this epos is, and of course, here you can see the spider. All of these nations from original Kalevala are represented as dogs, cats, and wolves. And here is Väinämöinen, for example. But I'll make maybe a video about this Korean Kalevala later for kids. But right now, kids, let's put on a horned hat. Let's take a sword right here, and let's put I'm sorry, this wolf is dead. I prayed for his soul, but right now let's put this wolf fur onto us and read you some of my favorite excerpts from Kalevala. Okay. And you will appreciate the verse. I'm not sure what's it called, but let's begin. The Proem. Ready? Mastered by desire, impulsive by a mighty inward urging, I am ready now for singing, ready to begin the chanting of our nation's ancient folk song, handed down from bygone ages. In my mouth the words are melting, from my lips the tones are gliding. From my tongue they wish to hasten, when my willing teeth are parted, when my ready mouth is opened, songs of ancient wind and wisdom hasten from me not unwilling. Golden friend and dearest brother, brother dear of mine in childhood, come and sing with me the stories, come and chant with me the legends, legends of the times forgotten, since we now are here together, come together from our roamings. Seldom do we come for singing, seldom do we do the one the other, seldom to the one the other, or this cold and cruel country, or the poor soil of the Northland. Let us clasp our hands together, that we thus may best remember. Join me now in merry singing, chant we now the oldest folklore, that the dear ones all may hear them, that the well-inclined may hear them, of this rising generation. These are words in childhood taught me, songs preserved from distant ages, legends they that once were taken. From the belt of Väinämöinen, from the forge of Ilmarinen, from the sword of Kaukomieli, from the bow of Joukahainen, from the pastures of the Northland, from the meads of Kalevala. These my dear old father sang me, when at work with knife and hatchet. This my tender mother taught me, when she twirled the flying spindle. When a child upon the matting, by her feet I rolled and tumbled. Incantations were not wanting over Sampo and o'er Louhi, Sampo growing old in singing, lo his season her enchantment, in the songs died wise Vipunen. And the games died at the games died Lemminkainen. There are many other legends, incantations that were taught me, that I found along the wayside, gathered in the fragrant corpses, blown me from the forest branches, culled among the plumes of pine trees, scented from the vines and flowers, whispered to me as I followed flocks in land of honeyed meadows, over hillocks green and golden. After sable-haired Murikki and the many-colored Kimmo, many runes the cold has told me, many lays the rain has brought me, all other songs the winds have sung me, many birds from many forests oft have sung me lays in concord. Waves of sea and ocean billows, music from the many waters. Music from the whole creation oft have been my guide and master. Sentences that recreated, rolled together into bundles, moved them to my ancient dwelling on the sledges of my cottage, tied them to my garret rafters, hung them on my dwelling portals, laid them in a chest of boxes, boxes lined with shining copper. Long they lay within my dwelling, through the chilling winds of winter in my dwelling place for ages. Shall I bring these songs together from the cold and frost, collect them? Shall I bring this nest of boxes, keepers of these golden legends, to my table in my cabin, underneath the painted rafters in this house renowned and ancient? Shall I now these boxes open, boxes filled with wondrous stories? Shall I now the end unfasten of this ball of ancient wisdom, this ancestral lays unravel? Let me sing an old-time legend that shall echo forth the praises of the beer that I have tasted, of the sparkling beer of barley. Bring to me a foaming goblet of the barley of my fathers. Let my singing grow too weary, singing from the water only. Bring me too a cup of strong beer. It will add to our enchantment, to the pleasure of the evening, Northland's long and dreary evening, for the beauty of the day dawn, for the pleasure of the morning, the beginning of the new day. Often I have heard them chanting, often I have heard them singing, that the nights come to us singly, that the moon beams on us singly, that the sun shines on us singly. Singly also Wainamoinen, the renowned and wise enchanter, born from everlasting Ether, of his mother Ether's daughter. That was the prologue. And later I will read you my favorite verse that is called Ilmarinen the blacksmith creates himself a wife from gold and silver. He decided he didn't need real women and he wanted to create a woman from gold and silver himself because he was talented and he created Sampo even. And we'll see what happened from that. And the last thing I will say now is that Tolkien, Gerald Ruel Tolkien, he created the Elvish language after visiting Finland. He came to Finland. He heard this strange voice of this sound and voice of this language, and he created Elvish language that many of you are so fond of by hearing the Finnish language. So that's it for now, and in the next video I will read you my favorite verse from Kalevala. Let me show you again. This is Kalevala for kids. This is Soviet Kalevala, because you know Russians wanted Kalevala to be Karelian, not Finnish, you know, like, because Karelians live in Russia mostly, and some of them in Finland, so this is Kalevala. Okay, let me finish this enchantment, let me press the button freely, let me end this damn transmission for the glory of the homeland, for the Northland's golden branches. Okay, I'm fantasizing now. Thank you. See you in next video. Kiitos.